We're gonna wait a little bit because people are going to be popping in, and we're kind of going straight into fighting Volo, so that's why I want to give people a chance to pop in before I just jump right into the battle. So thank you to all those who end up watching this. We'll start in just a few moments. I think until then, I'm just going to chill. Can't really look through much of my Pokemon, but I do got some rare candies I can dish out. Why not? Okay, who's my lowest? Sylveon's gonna be struggle bussing. Really, I think I'm gonna make sure my main is covered, and then I'm gonna make sure Palkia is covered as much as possible, given that we will have to fight some grounds, we will have to fight some other things as well. I'm also gonna make sure my Pokemon are oriented accordingly, so I think we're good there. Grit Pebbles. Haven't even used any of the grit items. Let's just ditch these. Let's do them on Infernape. Looks like it wasn't quite enough to level up. Let's get everybody as close to level 70 as we can. Poor Sylveon bringing up the rear. Okay, we also got some max potions. We got some max revives, so we should be set. Like, there's no reason why I should straight up die. But we're only hoping at this point. Currently where we're at in the progress of the game is the Pokedex should be 100% complete, with the exception of Giratina, Arceus, and the 4 seasoned guys, the 4 storms, weather conditions, whatever you want to call them, the trio that is now a quartet of genies, those ones. So that's what we're working with today. Let's dive into it. I just love the ominous music we got going on in the background. I think I'm going to turn it up a little bit because it's just so great. I love this transition. Well, I detect a distinct lack of Giratina. Is something bothering you? I dare say you deserve to know what I'm really after by now. Ever since I became convinced that Arceus really does exist, there has been one question that consumed my thoughts. How can I meet such a being myself? It was in an attempt to answer this question that I originally sought out Giratina and had it tear open that rift in space and time. After all, Giratina wished to stand against Arceus, but that didn't do the trick. So then I had you gather the fragments of the all-encompassing deity, just as the murals of the ruins directed. I can read, I promise. 18 plates said to be the fragments of the all-encompassing deity. You hold in your hands 17 of them, so you must be wondering, where's the last one? It was right here. He does this way too evil-like. But, like, I really don't feel he is. I think he's being controlled by Giratina a little bit. Now hand over the plates you gathered. I will be the one to bring them all together. My desire to meet Arceus cannot be contained any longer. I need to know what it is. I must know what it is. If I can meet Arceus myself, then I may also be able to subjugate its power, and using that, I will attempt to create a new, better world. Of course, if I create a brand new world, then this Husiri region that we currently exist in will be undone and return to nothing. Yeah, I really don't get that. Like, I feel like this all-encompassing deity could just create a new world without destroying what's already here, but that's besides the point. Now face me in battle, something, 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 something. I love how Arceus, like, he's dressed. Okay, starting out strong. We got a Dark Ghost. I feel like I did purposefully fix that to where that shouldn't have happened, because like I know I wanted to make sure that Samurott was going to come out first, but I guess that just didn't work. But hey, we're getting rid of one of his full restores right off the bat. That was a pretty good attack by Palkia. Let's see if we can do it again. Hypnosis. Okay, so we're going to be drowsy. But it is not enough to keep us down. Togekiss. Okay, so we got a little bit of some Dragon's Bane going on. I still don't have Poison, but I was going to have some Steel, but failed to account for that. Okay, what do we do? What do we do? We got some Steel. I think at this point... yeah, what is going to be the best move? Because, like, swapping out my Pokemon is going to open them up to get some major damage. Even though... oh, it's going to switch. Whatever. Hello, Raptor. What's going on? Okay, I guess that solves my problem right there, since now I can put out Dialga without worrying about getting destroyed. I was hoping not to destroy Palkia in the process, but... let's take it out with the Iron Tail. Oh, I knew it was going to avoid that. Accuracy was way too low. So I do got some Steel. I should resist pretty well. I was hoping that would do way more damage than it did, which kind of sucks. So it's gonna go with a strong Moonblast instead. Really got a lot of stuff that I was going to need to take out that Pokemon. Yeah, not so super great. Okay. Oh, it's got some flying type, so Ice Beam would be a good move. This is true. Hey, Groudon, what's going on? Okay, that was not such a great experience. Lucario is Steel fighting, so... while Fire's super effective, let's go with him on Fernape. Welcome back. Okay, I think I'm going to use some items here. Just to, like, Infernape shouldn't die to Lucario here, so I shouldn't need to be... oh my gosh, I'm worried now. I mean, I wasn't going to be worried, but I am now, so Lucario has to die, because it cannot power up. It's already a tank as it is. We don't need it. I was going to see if I could bide some time and prepare for Garchomp here with some ice revitalization, maybe some more dragon moves. But yeah, that's not going to be a possibility. Sylveon's going to die, but I think I'm going to use it as a sacrificial pawn just because I don't feel like it's levels high enough to do the damage I need it to do to that Pokemon. So we're going to revitalize Glaceon, and if it lives an attack, we'll revitalize Dialga. But yeah, didn't think so. Okay. So it's definitely going to survive an attack, and it's probably going to one-hit KO me, so... we're going to go with a strong Ice Beam and hope I outspeed. Ooh, snap! That was better than expected. Hello, Camo Sands. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so now we get the Arcanine boy. But that's Water Rock. Here is where I should be able to revitalize a little bit of my team. I feel like with it being Fire and Rock, and me being Water and Dragon, I should realistically resist a lot of these attacks. So let's get Dialga first, then Glaceon. Do some damage, and then we need to be prepared for Giratina to pop out of the blue. So Infernape's like my last desire right now. He is pretty difficult to beat, not going to lie. I think Sylveon's going to be the next best choice going up against a Ghost Dragon. If I can get just one attack off with it, it's going to help. Yeah, we're not taking a whole lot of damage, so while it is doing a few attacks, I'm not worried about what's to come here. We're going to make sure we're as prepared as possible to fight Giratina. Perfect. I mean, Aqua Tail and Hydro Pump should be 4 times effective as well going up against Rock. And it's got the stab bonus. Okay, this is the exact reason why we revitalized Infernape. Because we're going to need him to do some damage. And that did entirely too much damage right there. Like, can I just say that? I can see how that would be annoying. Whew. Recoil was worth it. Oh, for sure. Volo does have some slamming music. And Palkia ended up being the only one that was dead at the end of that exchange. And I'm hoping, since Infernape was the last one out, that it's going to be the first one in for my fight against Giratina. I don't think I'm going to be that lucky, though, because I would love to use his 4 HP that he has left to revitalize Palkia, because that's going to do some damage to Giratina a little bit. I could, but strong styling's great, but it comes with the risk of not being able to attack for 2 turns. And this game's brutal. When you lose a Pokemon, it seems that that Pokemon still gets to attack when you throw in the next one. So you open yourself up for a vicious cycle of just throwing in a Pokemon and getting it KO'd. Especially seems how 2 of my Pokemon are Dragon, one of them's really weak, and one of them's weak to Ghost. So 4 of my Pokemon out of 6 can easily get one-shotted by this Pokemon. With, I mean, I feel like it knows a ground move. It's gonna start off with an Aurora Spear. It's super effective. Why is it super effective? That's a fighting type move? So I don't know if Giratina is exactly helping Volo or using Volo. Oof. Okay, we're going to do a sacrificial pawn, and we're going to revitalize Palkia. But this Giratina, I do got to say, is doing way more damage, or taking way more damage than I initially thought it was going to. And because I feel like I can kill it with a strong style, we'll use a strong style because I'm not opening myself up to the bad. Until it does this. I kind of low-key forgot that it changed into origin form, so that probably is going to screw me over. Because now it's going to attack twice and do some big damage. Yeah. So that wasn't the best idea ever. It is Ghost Dragon, so I should be able to do some pretty significant damage with Samurott with some dark moves, because Dragon doesn't resist dark to my knowledge. Also, Volo's theme is low-key reminiscent of Team Rocket's theme, perhaps mixed with Cynthia's. Okay, we have to use Sylveon to restore some Pokemon. If Glaceon dies, which is likely. Oh snap, go Glaceon! I know I chose you for a reason. Who's a good Pokemon? Very nice. I was worried for nothing. It only takes like 5 revives though. Poor Volo. Do you have some dream that propels you as I have had? Yes. I don't know. That fight was definitely a lot more intense the first 4 times I tried it on the original save file. And for not knowing a lot about Arceus, he sure is dressed exactly like him. Whoa! We obtained a flute. Also, how cool would it be to have an evolution of Shuckle that looks exactly like this flute? Like, if I'm not mistaken, the shiny version of Shuckle is colored purple? Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it's gold. It's blue. We need an evolution of Shuckle that looks like the Azure flute, just because. A message from the gods? Sweet. The bright side is we can rest. And then I think we got some Pokedex data that we have to turn in now. By the way, I'm also level 9 at this point, or Research Star 9. That happened last night when I filled in all of the Pokedex pretty much. And now we have just 5 Pokemon left to catch before I can take on Arceus. And I'm really hoping that in the 40 minutes I have left to stream, I can accomplish just that. Huge shadow appeared in Cobalt Coastlands and just vanished without a trace. One place where that could be. can be fun sometimes. I might have to leave because don't want spoilers for the Volo got spoiled for me, but that's okay. Oh, I'm sorry. We should be able to battle, yeah? Took you really long to count money. Cobalt Coastlands. We'll come up here, grab Giratina, and then I think it's just going back and talking to Kogita to get the genies. I don't even know what they're called anymore, like thunderous tornadoes. Like, they have a term to denote them, but like I can't think of it right now. Like, I know Keldeo and all those guys belong to the Swords of Justice is what they're referred to as, but like I can't remember the collective term for the genies. In hindsight, I probably should have saved first, but that's okay. I beat him once, I can sure as heck do it again with the Pokeball. Except for they're not a trio anymore. I mean, it's the Weather Quartet. I have to. I have to. Oh, it just goes through him. What a bummer. Forces of Nature, that's it. Thank you, Groudon. Also, I want to know how Volo, like, got Giratina into this world to begin with. Like, if Arceus sealed Giratina away, how did Volo get to Giratina in the first place? What? What? For dealing such big damage. He was sure a cream puff, wasn't he? Like, does anybody else feel uber betrayed by how much of a cream puff that fight was? For getting lots of stars, the biggest, simplest, easiest trick is to go out and just fill in your pages of the Pokedex. Theoretically, you could fill in the bare minimum to get 10 research level 10 in every Pokemon and still not be level 10. You're going to have to do a little bit of extra tasks, like when it says after level 10, you're going to have to do a few other tasks for some Pokemon to just get your research level really up there, because just doing the bare minimum to fill in those pages will not be enough, and that's the easiest tactic. Just battle with the Pokemon, use their moves, fill in your Pokedex, and you'll reach level 10 no problem. Okay, we're just a few Pokemon away from the end. 5 left to catch. And then I can shiny hunt Arceus on BDSP after Shaman is done, of course. And honestly, I think when this is done, I'm going to start doing 2 streams. I think I'm going to stream Breath of the Wild as well as I really want to do Pokemon Coliseum. I really feel like that's going to be the game to play. Just, it's been coming up more and more in conversation, and I just can't fight it anymore. I want to do a Gen 3 play, and I think that's going to be fun. Oh my gosh, come on. Brascoin. Pick the right option. There's only 3. Just got to go through them all until I get the right one, apparently. I can... What? I do know N. Got one damn mass outbreak going on. Does anyone agree that Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are pretty good Pokemon games? They are better than Sword and Shield. But 3rd gen and 5th gen are still better. Oh, great. Lust and Love is correct. All the way. They know what's up. Okay. For argument's sake, Chris... Sword and Shield is great, but would have been better had Alola not preceded it. The problem with Sword and Shield is that Hop is the exact same character as How, but way more annoying about it. That's my beef with Sword and Shield. It would have been such a better game without Hop in it. He was just too excited about every stupid thing. That game stopped you every time you entered a route to tell you something about the story that's completely irrelevant to what you're trying to do. Like, it completely sidetracks the fact that you're doing a gym challenge and tries to force this extra story on you that doesn't need to be told. Granted, it's a decent story, but I feel like with games like X and Y, Black and White, the center is the Pokemon challenge that you're doing and the Dex challenge respectively, and the story is sprinkled throughout instead of slamming you in the face every single time you enter a new route. Sun and Moon, also better than Sword in that regard, because it tells you the story of you going through the island challenge, and because that is what you're doing, the story of going through the island challenge is told at a good pace and isn't slapping you in the face every single time you enter a route. Like, you enter the route expecting to progress your island challenge, and you get more information about progressing that island challenge, so it made sense. It made sense to have your counterpart be super excited about going on this island challenge in tandem with you, and it didn't feel forced at all, whereas Sword and Shield really just feels forced with that extra story. Bead really should have been the rival. I completely agree with that. I hated Bead my first playthrough through that game, but I love Bead so much. Like, he is one of my favorite characters in Sword and Shield, for real. It's, yes, Groudon, it's every corner, multiple times in a round. Hey, Jordan, that's not a bad team. Quilava, Pidgeotto, Parasect, and Gloom, I can dig it. So I would camo about your conundrum there with ride Pokemon existing. I feel like the ride Pokemon did exist, however, they weren't summoned at a whim by your Pokewatch or your cell phone or whatever. It would be very much more like a Pokemon and human relationship where they had HM type stuff that their Pokemon were taught how to carry them and ferry them from island to island, things like that. I feel like it would have been a very organic experience with all of those. Okay, we're going to have to map. I need missions. And we need ones that aren't done. Let's see, I know I missed a lot of comments. Can I go? There we go. Yeah, what Michael's saying, they didn't have the pager, but they could still call ride Pokemon using a whistle or something. Kind of similar to how we summon the ride Pokemon here. We just play a flute. Toot toot the magic flute. When you've completed entries in the Pokedex, come speak with me. Okay, like I thought you were going to tell me where to find each of these Pokemon, but maybe I just skipped through that information. I feel like it's a dang good thing I know where these Pokemon should be found. So if I remember correctly, I'm just supposed to ride around until I find the storms and crap, right? I feel like that's really what I'm looking for. Signs of a storm. Pokemon that are trash like Trubbish or Garbodor. That's pretty funny. Year is started in 1868 and has less tech, but Alola has lots more things, so how does Lavington know? Confuses me. I, for the life of me, don't recall ever hearing anything about the year that this supposedly takes place in. But I do know there's a lot of people from the Alola region in here, as well as other regions. I think there's only 2 that aren't referenced. Year started in 1868. Yeah, I don't like. I have not seen that information yet myself, so like, I can't verify its accuracy nor claim that it's not accurate. Like, I just don't know what year this game took place in. But we do know that the Pokemon era, well, let's put it this way. This Pokemon era takes place in a time that is after the apricot Pokeballs were made and before the digital Pokeballs were made. So it's somewhere in that time frame. But Pokemon does advance in technology really, really quickly. And yeah, like, nobody really knows when this game actually takes place, because for as far as I know, the Pokemon Company has never said anything about how far back in the past it really is. And so that's why I'm like hesitant to say, oh, it took place in this year or that year, just because to my knowledge, Pokemon hasn't said when it takes place, so I don't have a source for that information. Okay, what am I even supposed to do? Like, that's the sad thing, is like I know what I'm supposed to do, but like I don't at the same time. Legend has it that Hisui is home to a group of Pokemon said to be the forces of nature incarnate. Investigating them to bring your Pokedex closer to completion. Yes, they definitely got worse. But if you pay attention to the way that potions and, you know, medicine and stuff works in real life, like that actually makes a whole lot of sense. They become dependent on them and they stop working as well over time. You just have generations of people that, or Pokemon that have had potions used on them for everything. They just stop working as well. So that's one thing, IRL, that happens. Another thing is that maybe pharmacy companies in the Pokemon world just aren't making them as potent because they want to sell more potions. It's a capitalism thing. Like, we see that happen all the time in the United States, unfortunately. Just, oh, if we make this slightly less effective, they have to take more of it and we can justify selling it, more of it, at a higher price. Yes, she will tell me about them again, I'm pretty sure. I'm more... I don't think I need a quest to find them. I think I'm just supposed to find them floating around out here, aren't I? Like, I feel like there's just somebody I'm not remembering to talk to. Or there's a corner I missed somewhere. Because, like, I feel like there's supposed to be a cloud above the Pokemon I'm looking for. Where I find the fire monkey, so somehow I flew right over top of it. And you know, that right there may explain why I didn't see it, is because I am looking for Tornadus and Thunderous, or whatever the crap its name is. Whereas Landorus isn't going to have a cloud above it. If Legends takes place a century before DP. It definitely doesn't take place a century before. We got to take into consideration that while the stuff that we're doing right now is referred to as legend and myth, like, they aren't sure of these things happening. Like, even in the time frame we're currently at in Pokemon Legends Arceus, the stuff that we're doing is based on information that is a myth to them, a legend to them. But if only 100 years has taken place between this game and Diamond and Pearl, that's not near enough amount of time for the information to become legend once more, because Professor Lamington with this Pokedex is really detailing this information. It's getting written on record, a language that these people are going to be able to pass down. In over 100 years is not enough time to have people forget completely about this epic encyclopedia that we just made. Like, it's got to be long enough that it becomes a legend again. Okay, like, for some reason, I feel like that should have gone over better than it really did. Oh, I remember what I'm supposed to do. Oh, he was actually stunned that time. I totally could have just caught him. What a bugger. Yeah, I'm guessing this game is at least 500 years in the past. Given the growth of civilization, like, from here to Diamond and Pearl, like, Celestica City... Let's talk about Celestica Town. These are people that have to go and create a village that doesn't currently exist right now, and have a long-standing history at the Cave of Origin up there. Like, there's a lot of stuff that has to happen between now and Diamond and Pearl that just hasn't yet. So it's easily 500 years, long enough for generations of ancestors to come about. Granted, the technology improvement does happen quickly, but 500 years is well enough time for that stuff to happen. But I don't know if I'd say a couple thousand years, but definitely a couple hundred years. I would say between 1,000 and 500 years myself. Because another thing to consider, we're building an ancient version of Jubilife Village, right? Well, that building that is the Galaxy Center, where is it in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl? Like, we just had a remake of Diamond and Pearl, and that building is nowhere to be found, with one exception. The old chateau that is in between Eterna City and Jubilife Village actually looks quite as similar. Jubilife Village currently has a canal / river running through it, whereas in the Diamond and Pearl games, there is no river running through Jubilife Village. However, there is one running in between Floroma Town and Eterna City. There's a river going through Valley Windworks, so there's obviously a big enough time discrepancy for Jubilife Village to physically move locations and other buildings to crop up along the way. Like, he probably has Levitate, yeah. I am a huge supporter that Old Chateau in Diamond and Pearl is Galaxy Team Galactic Hall. Like, the buildings look almost exactly identical to each other. They both have 3 floors, they both have a lot of rooms, and their shape is very vaguely the same. Very easily could have migrated. Also, something to take into consideration, I haven't played the updated versions, or like, I haven't experienced the massive mass outbreaks. However, I do gotta say, isn't it funny that Cyndaquil, Oshawott, and Rowlet only appear in the Hisui region under the conditions of a space-time distortion? So are they even supposed to be here? Were they ever part of this area? Granted, things like Sneasler exist. That one's an interesting one to talk about with that, because it appears outside of space-time distortions. But it's entirely possible that these Pokemon just were space-time distorted into this area. It's entirely possible that they moved locations or found it less favorable to exist in that region, migrated. Very easily to explain that. Or they evolved into a different form, because one thing for sure, Sneasler, or Sneasel proper, only appears in a space-time distortion once again. So I find it equally likely that over time, in the future, Sneasel had evolved into what it is now, and no longer takes the Sneasler route, no longer is poison fighting, is just dark fighting or ice fighting or whatever the crap it is. And we're only seeing that Sneasel because it's from the future in a space-time distortion, just like Porygon. Gosh dang it, this guy is being a butt. Melly is a pretty bad character. Melly is also a gender bender. And not a good one. And if you don't know what a gender bender is, we have to watch Baka and test. That is funny. Wish I could go up to Arceus and have him delete Melly. So TDDL, it's entirely possible that the stuff that we see in this game is purely due to a space-time distortion, going along with the theory that our character actually hails from the X and Y Pokemon area, despite Arceus's dialogue indicating that we are new to the Pokemon world. We also have in-game dialogue options that let us choose that we were from a world with Pokemon in it as well. So there's some discrepancies there, probably a translation issue, but it's very possible that our character did come from Pokemon X and Y's region of whatever that one is. I can never remember because it's not Galar. Kalos. It's entirely possible that we came from the Kalos region. Caused the extinction of Ursaluna, Weirdeer, Sneasler, Basculegion, Genies. Yeah, and it's entirely possible that Ursaluna just decided that we forgot that it could evolve into that Pokemon. It's entirely possible that a page got missing out of that encyclopedia and they just no longer had the information. Oh wait, I need Alabaster Icelands and Cobalt Coastlands, that's right. Yeah, it's just entirely possible that for whatever reason, peat blocks stopped being found in this area, the Crimson Mirelands, so Ursula stopped evolving into Ursaluna, because it's only under a very rare series of events that this Pokemon actually evolves into Ursaluna, right? Like, it has to have a peat block to eat while on Dire Mountain Hill or whatever the crap it is under a full moon. That's some pretty specific requirements for evolution. I believe so. Now I just need to find where it spawns in this area. Akari basically is Dawn, and we are Brandon, with the exception that we can choose our hair color. Like, it was a very obvious reference, that was. Okay, Cobalt Coastlands. I'm looking for a thunderstorm. I feel like it should be pretty obvious. Does it have to be raining at the time, or is it just summoning its own? Because, like, I know for a fact the first time that I came to this area, it just happened to be raining anyways. So, like, I don't know if it has to rain on its own accord or if I can force that a little bit. It very well could have. And I thought it would be really cool if this did take place at the time of the Kalos War. Like, AZ is about to blast off his deal. Yeah, there definitely could be some migration factors in there as well. Also, one thing that we're not considering is that this game doesn't take place in the same time period as Diamond and Pearl originally did. Like, we're thinking of this as a prequel to Diamond and Pearl, and it very well could be. But if you remember what X and Y theoretically did to the Pokemon franchise, from a theorist perspective, it's entirely possible that everything after X and Y is in its own time frame, whereas everything before X and Y is in a different timeline, a timeline where that war never happened. Like, hopefully that makes a little bit of sense as far as that goes. Like, there's a theory out there that when there is a timeline where AZ fired off that weapon and destroyed, like, most of Kalos to bring back his Pokemon, and that we got Mega Evolutions in that timeline, we got Z moves in that timeline, we got Dynamaxing in that timeline, and they're just all connected that way. But generations 1 through 5 are in a completely different timeline that's more of an original timeline. So this game very well could be a completely different Sinnoh region than we know today, because it's in a different evolutionary timeline. It just said north of Sands Reach. Ah, yes. That explains it. I mean, there's a place that I've never been to in this area. Well, not never been to, but I haven't been up there yet this way. Which I seem to recall mine taking place, like, right here. So it should be right below me anytime now. Because I remember when I was trying to catch mine, I had to fend off some unwanted Gyarados attacks as well. Okay, Mr. Pokemon, where are you at, though? Like, you should be, like, right there, bruh. Actually, I think I know exactly what's going on. A space-time distortion is forming? Perfect. Too bad I'm done waiting for those. Oh, I do want to go and participate in that Glalie mass outbreak, but I'm not going to get to, I don't think. Oh shoot, I actually have to complete them. Dang it. That sucks. Yeah, stupid weather conditions. It's like, I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to get these guys. Either way, next time we come back here to stream, we're going to be taking on Arceus, that's for sure. I personally think that Thunderous should be conjuring up its own thunderstorm, but let's see what kind of weather we actually got going on. We got moon. Kind of thinking about raining, but not at the same time. Just cloudy. Not exactly the button I was looking for, but I guess it helps pass time. That sounds like rain. Yes. But is it going to be a thunderstorm is the question, I guess. It's got lightning, supposedly. Hey, there it is. Okay, it's gonna take me like a minute to figure out how I did this. Oh, what the? What in the slow-mo time was that? I love it though. Interesting. I honestly had no idea that entered slow-mo time. Holy crap. That was a hefty hit. Woohoo! MLG snipe? Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, was like, what in the bullet time is this? I mean, I'm here for it, don't get me wrong. I personally think both Dialga and Palkia's true forms look stupid, but that's just me. Now I guess I need to turn it in. The others what? I mean, you're right. Dialga's is okay. I just think after seeing what Origin Groudon and Origin Kyogre look like, that Dialga and Palkia could have been better. Both of them. Maybe not look so much like Arceus itself. Yeah, I need Tornadus. And I think it has to be a snowstorm here or something. and I believe this one spawns in the middle of Bone Chill Wastes. Well, let's see if we can make it snow. Well, that was easy. It's almost like we're in a snowy wasteland. No, that one was from me remembering where I caught each one of them. I don't know, I feel like this counts as a snowstorm, but maybe it's just snow. Stupid weather conditions anyways. Like, I definitely should be right over top of it by now. So I'm going to guess that it's not snowing hard enough. Given that I don't currently see it. We'll come back when it's snowing harder. Because this is snow, it's just not a snowstorm. This is like one of the worst mechanics you can possibly do in a game. Like that one. It's like, you can catch this Pokemon, but only in this very specific weather condition that you can't reliably control when it happens. Oh, come on, Glalie! What the lump, Glalie? Okay, you guys saw that bullcrap, right? Like, I very clearly had thrown a Pokemon at him. Glalie, get out of here. Nobody freaking likes you, man. Dude, get lost! Really? Oh, I'm not trying to fight him. What the heck happened to my storm? Freaking asinine. Worst mechanic about this game, I do gotta say. That's a great question. I feel like my first shiny was an Aegislash in Sword and Shield. At least the first one that I can actually remember. I'm sure there's been others over my many years of playing Pokemon, but I'd never hunted before Sword Shield, and it was actually quite an accident. I got both an Aegislash and a Magikarp kind of on accident. See, I was trying to. I was definitely trying to accomplish that Pokeball and back strike if the 6 Gallelies that were there, there's probably only like 2, but if the 6 Gallelies that were there weren't jacking my style up. Seriously, the worst mechanic in this game. Like, we can't even do the happy date time skip thing that we did in the Sword Shield game to control the weather conditions and just, like, get them to be a more favorable weather condition. Stop Galele grief. I'm gonna commit Galele genocide here in a second. I think that was shiny Eevee was the first one I found, but I didn't catch. My first one that I caught was Skorupi. To give children frozen nightmares, that's why it exists. Oh, come on. I feel like that was a very big ranged attack. Quit hiding behind your freaking Galele and come fight me, you stupid creature. Wow, it's just not having it, is it? Okay, those came out of nowhere. Meh. I don't want to kill Galele. I want to die. Just so good at it. Huh? Someone help, my first shiny was a Galele. Yeah, it does have a pretty dark evolutionary dex. Like, I may have to kill the Galele, but, like, I don't want to, so I'm not going to. Because I didn't have to battle these guys when I initially caught them, and I don't feel like I'm about to start now. But gosh dang if he's not playing on a different difficulty level. And also now I kind of understand what's going on with those attacks, so I feel like I can avoid them a little bit better. It seems I am getting frostbite also. Dang, he's attacking fast. Breaks Galeli's jaw? Ouch. I do not have an extra one on hand, no, unfortunately. It was a struggle for me to actually end up grabbing one. I couldn't find a male Kirlia, like, at all. Kirlia? Whatever the crap that Pokemon's name is. You can find an Alpha Gallade in the Snow Peak Temple or whatever the crap it's called. That place up there. There's one chilling up in there. I do gotta say though, I did have better luck with this Tornadus the first time I fought it. Or whatever the crap this Pokemon is. Yeah, in that Reggie Temple just up there. Why is that not breaking his defenses this time? That's what I don't get. Like, I feel like it should definitely be breaking his defenses by now. Like, would it be easier if I defeated the Galele? Yes. Yes, it would. But more are always going to respawn. One, Galele spawns more frequently here at night, so I got that going against me. Whereas in the daytime, it's more Snorunt and Swinub, so that's definitely a factor here as to the difficulty level increase. Also, I feel like throwing these sticky globs at Tornadus is not stunning him like it should for some reason. Despite how many times I actually hit him. Granted, the first time I played through this, I didn't use items at all. So that's one reason why I'm just not understanding why this is so difficult for me right now. Is because I didn't do it the first time I played it. I threw Ultra Balls at it until I caught it. Because I didn't use Sticky Globs, I didn't use Mud Balls, I didn't use the Spoiled Apricots. You can break their shield with just an Ultra Ball, I just don't understand why it's not breaking. I do think I have a better tactic up my sleeve, though. Hello, Mr. Salesman. Nope, that's not what I want. Those are what I want. So I have to break his shield 3 times? He regens his shield, repeat 3 times, he gets stunned for a while. Too far away? He's really good at throwing those right in my path, though, isn't he? See? I don't need to kill no stinking Galaleys. It's probably what my problem was. I used jet balls the entire time after unlocking them. I may be half dead, but... No, I used jet balls. That's why I ended up buying the wing balls. Like, you know, maybe that's why. Because, like, I definitely didn't consciously stun him the first time I played through the game. I didn't really have a tactic with it. I just threw until their shield was broken, went for broke. Alright. Well, that's going to do it for the stream today, guys, because I do have some monotonous dex entries to fill in. I also need to go and do some household chores as well, unfortunately. So I'm going to end the stream, and we'll pick it back up sometime either tomorrow or the day after, and take on Arceus and basically complete this game. Get a little bit of the quest line for unlocking massive mass outbreaks so that we can do some shiny hunting in this game later on. So I'll catch you guys then.